my name is Teresa. I'm a woman, wife, and mother conquering chronic illness, and welcome to my channel. So today I want to talk about why I no longer meal prep. Most of my channel was dedicated to that in the last few years that I was recording, but I don't meal prep anymore. Just as a rule of thumb, the recording videos about meal prepping was so easily because I did that. Like, I would plan meals, do the shop, make the meals, freeze the meals, and like that is how we would eat. And I don't do that anymore for a few reasons. I think probably the most pressing reason is that we don't eat that way anymore. There's nothing wrong with the way that we ate, but Macy has gotten older. She's autistic, my daughter, and she has certain food aversions, which makes it difficult. She has certain food aversions, and then there was at one point a very significant list, and still a substantial list of things that I could not eat, but everybody else could eat. Right? And so her aversions and my intolerances make it pretty difficult to plan meals that are simple enough to prep ahead of time for. What do I mean by simple enough? Like, we are very often not eating the same thing for dinner. And so I would not just be prepping 7 dinners. I'd be prepping 14 dinners, right? And so in a week's time, 14 different for 3 different people. And so, no, that's not what I mean. So like 7 nights, 14, I wouldn't just be prepping, no. So I wouldn't just be prepping 3 or 4 dinners throughout the week. I would be prepping 6 to 8 dinners, because some of the dinners either I couldn't eat or Macy wouldn't eat, or maybe Michael didn't like, right? Because if we're picking and choosing now, then he has opinions about what he wants to eat as well. And so it is much easier for me to just figure out what we're going to eat for 2 or 3 days at a time and do those 2 or 3 different meals and be done with it, right? Before, I was cooking like 3 or 4 meals and like cooking them and freezing them and unthawing them, and we would all eat them, but like we just don't eat that way anymore. Like, if I cook a dinner, maybe Macy won't eat it, or maybe I can't eat it and I end up eating something. Like, it's a whole lot. And so it got to the point where like maybe I will do 2 or 3 days in advance, but further past that, I'm certainly not doing breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 7 days. I'm certainly not doing that. Another thing is, guys, I just don't have the energy. Like, when I was meal prepping breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 7 days, there would be a day that is all I did. I was in and out of the kitchen on my feet all day long. And also, the shop for that is also another day of me in 2 and 3 and sometimes 4 different grocery stores the entire time Macy is at school. I don't do either of those things anymore. I don't have the energy to put that much effort towards meal prepping, because when it comes to meal prepping, you're not just cooking food and freezing it. You're choosing meals that will freeze well, that reheat well. There's a lot of thought and effort and consideration that goes into planning and prepping those meals, and the energy, y'all, I ain't got it. I don't have it. And if I did get some extra energy, I wouldn't devote it to that, because energy is just so scarce these days. I can't see me choosing to do that over laundry or trying to exercise more or whatever else I could be putting energy towards. All right. Want to know the real honest truth? Yeah, those reasons are really good, but we don't have to. When I was meal prepping and we were eating at home 99% of the time, is because we did not have the money to eat out. All we had the money for was for me to meal plan and meal prep. And honestly, honey, if I ain't got to, I ain't gonna. I have made it a point here recently, especially since I've been working with a nutritionist, to eat better. I have made it a point to eat out less. But when you have no energy, if I don't have to cook, I'm not going to. If there's a place where I can pick up some grilled chicken and get a bag of salad and dump it together and call it pal, like, that's what I'm going to do. And so, I wish I could eat a bag of salad, but I can't. So, yeah, when I was meal prepping, know that it was absolutely the cheapest option to do it. Like, I have dried beans. I much prefer to eat them out of the can because it takes so long to cook. Normally, when I am in the kitchen, y'all, I am standing up total 15 minutes. I am cooking something that either cooks in 15 minutes, or in 15 minutes I can put it in the oven, put it in the pressure cooker, put it in the air fryer, or put it on the stove to boil. Like, I'm not standing in front of the stove. And so, yeah, it does make it more difficult. And there are a couple of things that I miss about meal prepping. Once I meal prepped for the week, that was it, right? And so I didn't have to think about food. We have to think about food a lot more now on the day of. Before it was just, this is what we're eating on Wednesday and Thursday, take it out of the freezer, right? Which I don't mind. I am someone who could eat, and I think, especially for breakfast and lunch, like, I'm someone who could eat the same thing for weeks. And I think 30 days of eating breakfast. Sometimes I do. For like 2 or 3 or 4 days, I'll be eating the exact same thing, right? So for me, it was a load off to be able to do that. I often, I did a lot of trying new foods, like Korean preparations, more Midwest, like casserole type things that I didn't traditionally grow up eating, stuff like that. Like, there are some things that I still cook to today that I learned from that period, and I do. The thing is, I enjoy to cook. Like, I do. If I had the energy, I would cook more, but I still don't think I would put forth all the energy into meal prepping. So, going forward, do I ever plan on meal prepping again? No. My dream, real life, is to be able to hire someone to do that for me. Like, I'll pay somebody to do that for me, but me doing it, no. And so I want to have enough money to where I can pay all my bills, save, and take care of my family, and also hire somebody to cook for us, because who wants to do that? Also, anybody else didn't realize how much time and effort will go towards feeding yourself as an adult? That is one thing that I miss about being a child. Like, never did I think about, what were we going to eat for dinner tonight? I knew because I smelled it cooking, or mama brought it home, or daddy brought home a box of chicken. Like, there was no thought to nutrition and balance, and somebody did all that thinking for me, and I miss that so much. So that's my goal. Will I meal plan again? No. Hopefully somebody else will meal plan for me one day. Y'all will know I have made it when I have somebody cooking my food for me. I want to make it, y'all, but really just so I don't have to cook. As always, thank y'all so much for watching. That's it. I'll see you in the comment section and in the next video.